So I am coming to you today because I just saw it. I loved it. It was more funny to me than anything because you're used to like movies with like the jump scares and things like that. So generally whenever I think that a scary movie is going to have jump scares, my alternative way, unless it's like a very scary jump scene, my alternative way to react is I really liked it. The really bad thing about it is I was also comparing it to the other Stephen King movie that came out this summer, which was the Dark Tower movie, The Gunslinger. And I was kind of comparing the two. And I would say, even though I've never read it, never seen the old version of it, I would say that this one was probably more Stephen King-like than the Dark Tower movie. But also you have to understand that the Dark Tower movie wasn't going to be based solely on the books or anything like that. But back to it. So it starts off with like and that's the other thing about this movie. Sorry, interjecting my own thoughts. The thing I liked about it was the fact that the trailer was exactly like the movie. And what I mean by that is a lot of movie trailers as of late do not accurately portray the movie. Yes, there were some scenes in the trailer that that weren't in the movie, or at least this cut of the movie, but it didn't make me think about them. Whereas you see scenes and you're like, oh, I really want to see this scene in the movie, and then it's not there. So I'm glad that didn't happen. What else? But yeah, so it starts off with, Georgie going after his little paper boat. I'm waiting for this car to pass. And it's not passing. But I'm drinking. I don't understand why people do that. But anyhow, Georgie's going after his boat and meets Pennywise, the dancing clown. And I won't do spoilers, but goes missing. And so it's a year later, reaction. You can tell that the town's suffering because there are other kids missing. And there's this really crazy kid who's like batshit, who I guess was abused by his dad or whatever. And so he's like a psychopath, and he's terrorizing like the kids in school and whatever. And you see him terrorizing kids during their summer break and whatever. And so that's kind of how the kids group together, is through his bullying, because they're not all initially friends to start off with. But another thing that you realize about the kids is they're all suffering. So there's this one kid that's like a total hypochondriac because of his mom, and she's trying to seclude him like she's secluded, and he wants to like do what his friends is doing, but like the worry of diseases, idiots. The worry of diseases affects him and affects how he interacts with his friends as well. What else? The girl, she is assumed to be, it's assumed that she's sexually abused by her dad. they never think the Lord ever like fully disclose that or show anything. They have suggestive scenes, but they never like actually show anything, which is good. And then what else? And yeah, so they get together through being tormented by this bully in the town, and they go off on and do little adventures. And Billy, who is the main character, who's Georgie's brother, is still looking for him. Excuse me, I do apologize. And so he's still trying to look for his brother. His parents are upset that he's still going on about this because they just want to forget, like everyone else in the town, that the kids are going missing. And Billy's very persistent, so he's gonna go look for his brother. And so there's this girl who went missing like 3 weeks before school ended, and they end up finding her shoe, and they still think that she's alive, but such is not the case. In real life, such is not the case. Or at least you don't want it to be after you see Pennywise. And so they also have separate experiences, like with their fears. So the I think his name is Stanley, he's the Jewish kid. He's scared of this painting in his dad's office, and so that's what Pennywise uses to like capitalize on his fear. Billy is still, you know, chasing after his brother, so Pennywise capitalized on that. For some reason, and they don't explain why, the girl is, Beverly, I think her name is scared of blood. I don't get it. I mean, they showed her buying tampons in the movie, but I'm not sure if that was it. And so, like, she's scared of blood. The other kid, I don't know what the fat kid was doing, but he was in the library and got chased by something and saw Pennywise. And then the hypochondriac, he got chased by like a leper or something like that and saw the clown. So, and then the black kid, Mike, I think his name is, he didn't die. He sees like his parents' hands trying to reach out and like grab him as they burned in a fire or something like that. And so sorry. Does it have it on here? Smoothie King. I don't think it says it on here. Greek pineapple mango. Yeah. And so they mutually see the Pennywise, and then they decide to go to this house, this creepy house, which is like the center of all the sewers in the town or whatever, and that's where Pennywise hides. And so they go in, they get separated, and they get attacked, but in the end they didn't die through that attack, because I guess they were getting to be less scared of Pennywise as the attack went on, and so he got more fearful and went away. And then they stopped talking, and then here come August. What happened? Somehow Beverly got taken after she was attacked by her dad, and the bully, he got scared shitless by his dad in front of his fence, so he got pissed off and ended up killing his dad. And so then Pennywise told him to like go kill everybody else. And so Beverly gets taken, and the kids gather together to go save her, and then like also try and kill Pennywise for the good, whatever. And so they go to the house again, and you see in the background the bully is like waiting there about to attack them or whatever. And so they go down the well, and then the black kid is Mike is left alone to be the last one to go down. And then the bully comes up and attacks him, and Mike ends up tossing him down the well and killing him or whatever. And then they end up fighting Pennywise and winning, and from that they like make a pact, because they figured out through the fat kid's research that it happens like every 27 years or whatever that the kids go missing. And so they made a pact that if anything else happened, 27 years later, that they would come back and try and kill him again. And that's essentially the end of the movie. Now, what I wish had happened was, because they found Georgie's like raincoat that he disappeared in, I wish they had shown Billy bringing that to his parents and like them sharing a moment. Like they had a moment. Sorry, cars. They had a moment where he cried over the jacket in the sewers, but it did with his friends, but it didn't never show him with his parents mourning that loss. So I would have liked to have seen that. Beverly is moving to like Portland or something like that out west, because it takes place in Maine because of Stephen King. And so she's flying cross country since she like almost killed her dad, and staying with like her aunt or whatever. But overall, if you wanted a storyline, this wasn't the movie for that. Because basically it relies on the fact that the kids go missing, and that's it, and that's all you need to know. It doesn't further explain as to why Pennywise is there, why he has chosen to attack the town, what the agreement was when the town started, because apparently he ended up killing everyone after the town was established or whatever. So you don't fully like get an explanation to like anything. But sorry. But yeah. So I mean, if you want explanations, this wasn't the movie for it. If you want storyline, this wasn't the movie for it. One thing that I really found annoying was the fact that Billy and this girl and then the fat kid were like in some sort of non-existent love triangle. So the fat kid was like completely in love with Beverly, but Billy treated her like he didn't care about the rumors about her, so she was like more involved with him than the fat kid. But the fat kid was sweet, and it's just like, what's the point? So that was annoying. But the scare scenes with Pennywise were scary. Like, I laughed, but they were scary. Like, if you're afraid of clowns or slightly afraid of clowns, this is not the movie for you. What else? If you like jump scares, it was pretty good, pretty decent. I'd say like a 3.5 out of 5. the one thing is it's more gory, and I hate gory movies. So, like, the ripping off of a child's arm, gnawing on a child's arm, blood for no reason, gunk for no reason, because you don't know what the substance is that's falling out of people's mouths, and like things like that. So stuff like that I don't normally enjoy. It didn't necessarily bother me, this movie, but normally if I choose a scary movie, it's like demons and like ghosts and things like that, like Sinister. But overall I enjoyed it. I could go see it again in the movies. But yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. And then it set it up for there to be another movie, because it said chapter 1. So maybe they'll do like Sinister, not Sinister, is it Sinister? No, not Sinister. Insidious? I think that's it. Where they do the chapters and things. So maybe they'll do something where they reflect back onto previous encounters with Pennywise or something like that. But yeah, I liked it. Let me know what y'all thought about it, and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see another Stephen King movie made, what do you think what should be made next?